lovely record. It's George Formby's father, George Formby Snr, and reciting a song that he recorded in at least two forms. This is one version, The Grandfather Clock. Something very special about this recording. I'm a great George Formby fan. It's just amazing to hear his father.
This is a song about my grandfather. And them that doesn't want to listen, get out at room, please. Because it's only annoyance to me. Now then, lads. My grandfather's clock was a Waterbury watch. It could live 90 days without food. With a silk hat on its head and my father's Macintosh, it was dressed up like a Piccadilly dude. It was kept in the hall till the cupboard got too small, and we had no place the food for to stock. So the butter and the eggs and the little mutton legs, we kept them in my grandfather's clock. And the works of the clock through the butter melting in it sent the fingers flying round at 100 miles a minute. And Grandad with a sigh said, I haven't time to die, so I'll put it off until the clock's repaired. It was about best thing that he could do, you know. Very sensible man was my grandfather. He always undressed himself before he got into bed. My grandfather's clock was my mother's perambulator. Round the park in it we used to ride. There was me and Tweedle Tommy, Liza and Justice Hawkins, screaming Ginny, and the twins all stuck inside. So Grandad, who was dead, changed his mind, got up instead, and the sight that he saw gave him a shock. For the man who brought the coal couldn't get it down the hole, so he slung it in my grandfather's clock. And we didn't need a shovel as the pendulum swung higher, for every time it swung it knocked some coal into the fire. And at 9 o'clock the crank used to chime a double blank, so Grandad had to knock, he couldn't go.
Lovely, wasn't it? Yeah, George Formby's father grew up in the most dire poverty and worked his way up to the top of the musical profession. He became one of the highest paid musical stars of his day. And the difference really, I think, between George Sr. and the George that we know, mostly through the films, is that a lot of his songs were quite bleak but beautiful and sad and quite special. Poor George Formby Snr, through sheer poverty, contracted TB, and some of his later recordings, he would make light of his coughing, and he'd sort of go, coughing again, coughing well, he'd sort of say in his recordings. I seem to recall hearing another version of this Grandfather Clock one where he says that, he sort of says, coughing well, and the poor man was actually dying of TB, but still working to keep the family fed. George Formby, the most famous of the two, the one we all know from his films, was a lot of people think he came from sort of humble background, but actually grew up in a big house in quite wealthy, really, lush surroundings, because his father was earning phenomenal money for the time. Although, as I say, George Formby Snr grew up so poor that he often, as a child, had to sleep in coal cellars and coal sheds outside in the freezing cold, and that's why he ended up contracting TB. So the poor man died quite young. And yeah, so anyway, let's go on to side 2 of this lovely record. Right, side 2, another one of those sad songs from George Formby Snr, the father of the better known, great George Formby.
Just wait a minute, conductor. I wasn't ready then. I'm just going to have one with a friend of mine. Will you have another, George? No, I'll not bother now. I've had 2 peppermints already, and you know what I am when I've had a drop too much. Well, I'll tell you, I'll leave you now, see? All right, I'll see you again. Tell stage manager I'm ready. Go on, start up with band. Take it easy, take it easy. Now I know a man, he's unfucking. He thinks he is the best. He could break away from anything, so I offered him a test. So we got him on the railway line. He thought he'd win his bet, and we handcuffed him to an express train. And there's another little room to let. Poor lad, he's gone. Pop diddly on pop. Just in time then, wasn't it, lad? I say, conductor, have you noticed that fellow with trombone? He's blowing it wrong way. He must be careful or else he'll slip through it. Second verse now, lads, don't forget. Now a pal of mine, he was not well. He went to Dr. Wood. Give him a blow in the night pressure, as a blow will do him good. So we took him in the country lane with a hammer in me and you bet. So we give him a blow, but it did no good, and there's another little room to let. Serves him right. Why, I can't knock sense into some people. All as he could say was, I hate him when he said, oh. You know, shouting at a thing like that. Now, lads, get ready for the third verse. Now then. Now a chap I know went fishing once in a boat that was so thin. He discovered a hole in the side of the boat, and the water it rushed in. To stop the water rushing in, he did his best, you bet. He made another hole but to let it out, and there's another little room to let. I think he was sillier than t'other fella. When he found it didn't work, he got out at boat to walk home, but the floor gave way. Silly fella. I think that'll be about all now. Good night.
Nice, wasn't it? George Formby Snr. What a great man in his own way. Younger George Jr. actually, the one we sort of mostly know from his, know much better from his films, was based his act originally on his father, but then developed on to playing the ukulele and making films and expanded out. His father died before the age of the sound movie, so never really got was recorded on wax cylinder, and in '78 we never got to make sound movies. I think there may be a little bit of footage of him on the silent movie, but what a great man he was. And the poor man died so young, contracted TB due to the poverty that he grew up in, and yet what a legacy. His own legacy is amazing, and then who should come along but his son to take over and make the legacy even bigger. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.